let's go on to finally our week 6 sleepers. We'll talk on that. We got I forgot to play the Brown. Okay. Anyways, we got Jerrick McKinnon. So everybody ran to the waiver wire, picked up Darrell Williams, threw him on their team. You're saying Jerrick McKinnon, you're going to play him this week.
I mean, yeah, as a sleeper, I am going to play McKinnon in a couple leagues as a double flex because I do think that, obviously the Chiefs, they've been giving it up, and the Washington football team has been pretty bad themselves. And in terms, I can't remember what it was exactly, but I think it was like rushing yards or like contact before like rushing. Like basically with the stat, I'm butchering it right now, but it's basically like how many yards can the running back get before he gets first contact? And that's a good stat, basically
yards prior to contact.
Yeah, prior to contact or something like that. Like I said, I'm butchering it for sure. But the Chiefs were amongst the top teams in terms of their run blocking was pretty good. So, Jerrick McKinnon, who's an explosive guy, one of the highest spark scores when he was coming out of college. That's why he got that deal with the Niners. Obviously the guy came out and towards the ACL back-to-back years. So, but, guy's still pretty electric, still pretty fast. I do think that when they get in close, they're going to give the ball to Darrell Williams. We've kind of seen that even with CEH. Darrell Williams was the guy who was getting the goal line carries, not CEH. But, it was Jerrick McKinnon when I was watching this Sunday Night Football game against the Bills that, in the 2-minute drills or in the hurry-up offense, that it was like Jerrick McKinnon who was out there in the offense. And granted, he wasn't getting a ton of targets, because Mahomes likes to stretch the field. He's not really dumping it off. But I think this is a sneaky start right here. If you're just desperate, looking for a sleeper, I do like Jerrick McKinnon because I do think they're going to score a good amount of points on the Washington football team. So, does he have the opportunity to break off a big play, pass out of the backfield? We've seen Clyde Edwards-Helaire get a couple receiving touchdowns the last couple weeks before getting hurt. So, yeah, me some Jerrick McKinnon here.
Jerrick McKinnon he was on the Vikings, right, before the Niners?
Yeah.
And, he was signed for a pretty big contract to the Niners before I think he tore his ACL. And, I think that's kind of when the running back injuries started to fucking compound over there. But yeah, you got to, you always talk about, if this person is willing to put he was supposed to be the guy in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And if and this guy's sitting here, obviously he's third string technically for the Chiefs, but he could possibly take over and take over Darrell Williams' spot. I could definitely see it. Yeah. So I think this is a really good sneaky start.
Yeah, obviously you're starting Darrell Williams 1,000%. If you picked him up, you're starting him. I saw his start percentage was pretty low, but I think that'll go up as we get closer to Sunday. But yeah, Darrell Williams needs to be started. But yeah, I think this will be a running back on committee here. I don't think that they just, give Darrell Henderson the ball, 100% of the snaps or 80% of the snaps. I think this, at the worst, I think it's 60-40.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I think 60% Darrell Williams, 40% Jerrick McKinnon. So, yeah. And, it was kind of like, comparison. Everyone was going out to get Damian Williams from the Bears. Nobody's really going out to get Khalil Herbert. And, what was it? It was 50-50.
Yeah.
So I think we're in the same scenario here. I think the days of those workhorse running backs are coming to an end, and there's only a few. Even as good as Zeke is, it's like you still see a ton of Tony Pollard. As good as Nick Chubb is, you've seen a ton of Kareem Hunt.
There's only a few. It's like Dalvin Cook.
It's like CMC, Harris. Yeah, Najee Harris, CMC.
That's why
I don't know, Eckler.
But even yeah.
So it's like a lot of these other running backs. It's running. The second running back is getting utilized. So yeah, I do think Jerrick McKinnon gets utilized a lot more. And you know what? Maybe you don't play him this week, but if Jerrick McKinnon's on the waiver wire, go get him now.
Yeah, just add him.
Be a week early instead of a week late because, if he does come out and he does have a good game, he's going to be like a hot waiver wire pickup. But if you go pick him up now, you get him for free. And then if he has a good game, then it's like you already have him, whether you start him or not.
That was the thing with we were talking about Kadarius Toney last week, and if you went and just picked him up and maybe you didn't start him, I don't know how many people did that, but I was able to do that, and this whole waiver wire this past week is nice. And I was in a full point PPR league. I didn't have to worry about going to pick him up.
Yeah, so. People are probably gonna be like, oh, like last week, people probably think like, oh, I'm trying to get Kadarius Toney, like, and he's not there, and they're like, who the fuck has Kadarius Toney? And it's like, you have him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like same thing, Jerrick McKinnon, like, you know, he could come out and be the guy. You have him, so I'd go out and get him if I could.
Sure. Let's go on to the next sleeper here. We got Michael Pittman Jr. So I don't know if you were saying, like, I don't know if this is a sleeper start, whatnot. But we looked it up. 32% being started in ESPN leagues, I think. And so going up against the Texans, it's looking like Michael Pittman is the main guy in the wide receiver position for the Colts, and just getting a ton of attention there, and I love the matchup. I think in this division game they're going to use their number one wide receiver and utilize him big time.
Oh, big time.
Yeah,
I love it.
We liked Michael Pittman Jr.
Maybe I was saying that because, like, I'm so high on Michael Pittman personally. I mean, even last year coming out of the draft, you know, he was one of my favorite wide receivers. I know he didn't boom last year. I think he was dealing with a couple injuries, and, you know, the offense with Phillip Rivers just kind of was all over the place. But one of the guys who I felt like was just, he reminded me of Mike Evans. He reminded me of like a Vincent Jackson, if you've been playing fantasy for a while. Just a big body guy. I mean, he's 6'4", he's 225. You know, I just feel like he's like a solid wide receiver. You know, his dad's a former NFL running back, so he knows what to expect. You would like to think that his dad kind of groomed him to be in this position. But, yeah, I do like Michael Pittman. And one thing I do like about him is that they utilize him all over the field. And, like, you know, he's getting all these targets, 12, 8, and 7 the last couple weeks. You know, and it's not just like downfield targets. Like they'll run him in motion right here. Honestly, if you're watching the YouTube channel, they literally just did it right now. He was lined up on the left side, and they you know, just a little 3-yard pass where he just runs across the field, but he catches it and then he turns it up the field for like 15, 20 yards, and that's kind of just what they do. They utilize him all over the field. So yeah, I do like Michael Pittman a ton. I think Michael Pittman's going to be a guy that we're talking about for years and years going forward.
I think so too. Once they get their quarterback situation figured out too. I snuck one in here.
You sneaky son of a bitch.
I snuck an extra sleeper in here.
Sneaky son of a bitch. Dude.
Okay, what do you think?
I was sleeping. I literally was sleeping, and you threw one in. Huh?
Okay, yeah. No, actually, while we were recording, I threw one in.
Oh, dude, I like it.
Sneaky. It's a running back.
Dude, Najee Harris is not a
sleeper. No. Sleeper start for week 6.
Sleeper start running back, huh?
Yeah. He is a rookie.
AFC or NFC?
He's a rookie. That's a big hint.
Ramondre Stevenson.
No. Oh, wait, where is it? Okay, there it is.
Javonte Williams. Nice.
Javonte Williams. I love Javonte Williams against the there we go. The Las Vegas Raiders.
Dude, where are these highlights at? Show the people on the YouTube.
Oh, excuse me.
You got to see, because you got to see how vicious and angry this guy is when he runs the football.
I apologize. Do you know what the yards per attempt were last week for Javonte Williams against the Steelers?
10.
Okay.
I don't know.
Come on, bro. That's like when someone's like, guess how much money's in my pocket? And you're like, $5,000. And you're like, well, no, dude. It's like $500, but now it seems so small. His yards per carry was 7.6.
That's still really good.
It's 8 attempts for that. It was crazy. I was looking it up. I was like, that's insane. So the knock on Javonte Williams is he really isn't on the field that much. It's like a 60-40. So it's not like he's not the main guy out there, but you have to think if you're averaging 7.6 yards per carry, the Denver Broncos got to be fucking brain dead if they don't switch that up from 60 to 40, 40% snap percentage. They got to switch that up. You got to get fucking Javonte Williams out there this week. The Las Vegas Raiders don't have a very decent run defense. They're giving up an average of 21.9 fantasy points per game to the running back position. They're giving up a decent amount of yards. I mean, it's just they're on the bottom of the chart in almost every category: touchdowns, yards. Yeah, all of it. So, in that regard, I think it's a sneaky sleeper play. If you throw Javonte Williams in there, I fucking like it. Anyways, I just saw that stat and I was like, bro, that's nuts. Interesting stat. Hashtag interesting stat. 7.6 yards per carry.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be a guy I'd try to buy low on if you can. We might see, I mean, Cam Akers last year, was a guy who, we all thought Cam Akers was super talented. We thought he was the best running back on the team.
I told everybody.
He was a rookie. Yeah, he was a rookie. And, it took to week 12 almost to basically get him in there. But once Cam Akers popped, he was getting 25, 30 touches a game. And the guy was just putting up crazy numbers. Cam Akers was towards the tail end of the season. I think we could kind of see the same thing with Javonte Williams. As the season progresses, we see him get more and more incorporated into the offense. And, the Broncos, pretty decent team. They're going to be fighting for a playoff spot, in my opinion. So when he gets to that point, maybe they might say, hey, we got to lean on the rookie a little bit more because he's outperforming Melvin Gordon. And, if we're trying to win these games, we're trying to make the playoffs. At that point, you want your best players on the field.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So maybe Javonte Williams, instead of seeing 10, 12 touches, Melvin Gordon sees 10, 12 touches, maybe Javonte Williams sees 16, 18 touches, and Melvin Gordon only sees, 8 to 10 touches. So, yeah, a guy, if you could buy low on, I would definitely like to get Javonte Williams on my team if possible.
I mean, dude, there was a couple times where he literally was just like, run. He's running it like
he's a human truck stick.
Bro,
the guy's a human truck stick.
It was, I mean, I was watching the game and I was like, oh my God, this guy, he won't go down.
He runs angry.
He does. You know what? I would punch myself if I was a running back, I'd punch myself like right in the lip. You know when you fucking bite your lip or something, you bite your cheek, you're just like, oh, you get mad. That's what I would do. Before every play, I would lift my helmet up and I would punch myself right in the lip. And I'd run mad. Oh my God. Anyways, we're delirious. This has been the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast. My name is Missionary Mike, also known as Michael Marcanio. That's Tyler Revelis, also known as your boy T. And we've had a wonderful time with you guys, and I hope you did too.
We're staying up late to get this information out for you.
By the way, we got some fucking fire ass news, dude. Some new stuff coming out. Helps you, helps us.
Dude, send the smoke signal, dude, because it's fire.
Bro, it's fire, dude. SOS, dude. Save our ships, bro. I met someone they thought SOS meant save our ships. I was like, what about when they do it on the beach? And they're like, yep, well, the shipwreck. I'm like, no.
What does SOS stand for?
Save our souls.
Is it really?
Yeah, save our souls.
Save our souls?
Yeah.
How about this, dude? AVG Fantasy Football, SOS. Save our season, dude.
Yeah,
we're here for you.
Save our season. SOS, baby. I love it. Hey, did you like that video? No, not the one of Big Ben completely eating shit when nobody even touched him. I'm talking about our fantasy football video we just did. You just watched. Well, guess what? That was just a clip from the full audio podcast. So if you want to check out the whole thing, links down below. AVG Fantasy Football Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, all of them. Anywhere you can get audio podcasts, we're there. Go ahead and check it out. And if you don't want to look at your fantasy team to look the way Big Ben does right here, wait for it. Come on, replay. This is your fantasy team. But that won't be your fantasy team if you subscribe to AVG Fantasy Football. So go ahead, subscribe and like this video. Subscribe to the channel and like.